It started with a whisper, a faint, almost inaudible sound that sent chills down Elena's spine the moment she first heard it. She was only 12, but she knew something was wrong the night her older brother, Tyler, returned home late from his friend's house, his face paler than usual and eyes darting nervously around as he slipped into his room. "Did you hear that sound?" he asked quietly, locking his door behind him. Elena nodded, clutching her blanket tighter. It was a strange, guttural noise, something dragging or scratching, and it seemed to come from the woods behind their house, a place their parents warned them to stay away from after sunset. But tonight, the sound had been louder, more persistent. Over the next few nights, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Every shadow seemed to stretch and twist, forming monstrous shapes. The woods whispered at night, and sometimes she would catch a glimpse of a hulking, hairless figure lurking between the trees, its elongated limbs unnervingly flexible, movements silent but unsettling. One night, driven by a mixture of fear and curiosity, Elena decided to investigate. She grabbed her flashlight, its beam barely piercing the darkness, and tiptoed out of her room. The house was silent, save for the soft hum of the ventilation system. Outside, the moon cast an eerie glow over the trees, shadows dancing with each gust of wind. As Elena approached the woods, a cold sensation seeped into her bones. She remembered the stories her grandmother had told her, stories about a creature called the Rake. According to legend, the Rake was a hairless, humanoid beast that haunted the forest, stalking its victims silently and efficiently. Some said it was a creature from another realm, drawn to human fear. Others believed it was a cursed spirit wrapped in flesh. She pressed on, her trembling hand gripping her flashlight tightly. The trees creaked overhead, a symphony of sinister sounds. Suddenly, the beam caught a figure, a tall, gaunt humanoid with pale, nearly translucent skin stretched tight over its bones. It was crouched low, and as Elena's light flicked past, it suddenly looked up, revealing eyes that shimmered like obsidian. Elena froze, her heart pounding. The creature took a step forward, then another, its movements unnervingly smooth. She wanted to scream, but her voice caught in her throat. She remembered her mother's warnings to never run from it, to stay silent and still. The creature moved closer, silent as a shadow. Elena could feel its gaze boring into her, cold and relentless. Her mind raced. What was it? Why was it here? She knew she had to get back inside, but her legs refused to cooperate. The Rake lunged. Elena only had a brief moment of panic before instinct took over. She sidestepped, falling to the ground, and scrambled backwards. Her mind screamed to move, to hide, but her body was frozen in terror. The creature's claws, long and dagger-sharp, scraped against the dirt as it prowled nearer. Suddenly, a sharp light flashed from behind her. A voice called out, her father's voice, shouting commands. The creature hesitated, then hissed loudly and retreated into the shadows, disappearing as quickly as it had appeared. Elena's father rushed to her side, pulling her to her feet. "Get inside," he ordered, grabbing her hand and pulling her toward the house. "It's not safe out here tonight." Inside, Elena trembled beneath her blankets, her mind replaying the encounter. That creature. She knew it wasn't just a nightmare, though it had felt like one. The stories about the Rake had always seemed like a myth, just silly campfire tales meant to scare kids. But now she knew better. It was real. The next day, her father told her to forget what she saw, that it was just a delusion, a trick of the mind. But Elena wasn't convinced. She could still see those eyes, hear those whispers, even in the safety of her room. The creature was out there, lurking in the shadows, waiting. Night after night, she would lie awake, listening to the woods' twisted symphony. And each night, a faint, unnatural scratching sound would echo just beyond her window, reminding her that the Rake was still out there, watching, silent but deadly. They tried to leave the area, but no matter where they went, strange things followed. Mysterious footprints appeared in the snow. Shadows darted just beyond the edges of their vision. And Elena knew. The creature was not just in the woods. It was in her nightmares, in her fears, woven into the very fabric of the dark world she'd glimpsed that night. One evening, Elena's mother decided to confront the legend. She lit candles, drew symbols on the walls, and recited old chants her grandmother had whispered. But no spell could hold back something born from shadows, not when it was already inside her mind, already stalking her in the darkness. And as the clock struck midnight, Elena saw it again, those whispering eyes peering through the window, and the faint scratching sound grew louder, more insistent. The rake was coming, and it was hungry for something far worse than fear. It was hunting her. The fear that had once been a distant thing now clawed at her consciousness with monstrous claws. And in that moment, Elena understood, the rake was never just a creature of the woods. It was the embodiment of all the darkness lurking in the corners of the world, and as long as shadows existed, it would always find a way to return.